let's start our veggie patch for the cool season. I'll show you how to prepare the ground from scratch, how to plant out the seeds, what seeds to plant, so in 2 to 3 months' time you've got an abundance of food in your own backyard. This is part of my patch and I've been working on this for a few years, but I have recently decided to change the design and I've tilled up this space. First things first, you need to find a spot in your backyard that gets 6 to 8 hours of full sun throughout the day. Most of the veggies are going to need that. Some of the veggies we talk about today can do a little bit less light, but ultimately find the best spot in your garden. You'll then need to clear the space. For my garden, I had grass in the way, so we've got a tiller. My husband went through and has tilled it up, and I'm going to go through and weed that soil out now. You may need to do this by hand, and it's a case of putting a fork in the ground, loosening the soil, and then pulling the grass or the weeds out. Most important thing is, especially if you've got grass, you need to get it out of the way and clear your patch ready to go. An alternative method is, and it's something we did years ago, it works quite well, but it is a bit more expensive, but it's actually way more expensive. You can lay very thick pieces of cardboard down to smother the grass, and then you pile compost and veggie garden mix soils on top of that. That one will cost you. So if you're trying to do this on the cheap, unfortunately it's a case of you're going to have to weed things out. And we're weeding things out because our area is way too big to be bringing in that much soil. So I'm going to get into this now, weed this out, and then we'll come back for the next step, which is planting seeds. Hi everyone, I'm back and it's been a week. So if it takes you a while to prep your soil, don't panic. It's the same for me. So what I did was I just chipped away at it. I had a whole heap of things going on this week. So, you know, between kids and work and everything else, I just chipped away at it. So that's what you need to do too. But as you can see, I've got one nice big long row in here. Your shape will be determined by the space you've got. If you've got a nice big space, you could do rows, you could do blobs like my other garden. You might have a little patch in some grass you've dug up. Whatever you've got to work with, we're now going to go in and plant the cool season veg. So we'll go through that first of what seeds I'm putting in. It will depend on your area, but you can do a search online for your area, whatever zone you're in, and what you can plant at this time of the year. Pending weather, we are having a very warm autumn. So we've got a little window that's extended a bit longer than normal to get some extra things in, which is really good. But there's actually a lot of stuff we can plant this time of year. So let's go through it. This is my little seed caddy. So what have we got? So what's going in today is we've got Swedes. I'm going to put some leek seeds in. Artichoke, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this because I'm building up my artichokes. But otherwise, that's probably too big of a plant to be putting in just a little garden. Oh, forget that. That's something else. I'm putting those in. It's not needed for this either. Snow peas. Snow peas are a really good one to grow to save space through the colder months, because they'll grow through the colder months. They don't mind some frost and you can save some space. So I'll show you where I'm putting mine. Mine are going on like an arbor trellis. You can kind of grow them up whatever you want, but it will save some space. They grow really quick. You just want to make sure as they're coming up out of the ground, they want to latch onto stuff. And once they latch on, they'll just take off. But if you don't get them over onto something, like whatever they're trellising on, to grab onto, they will grow really slow. We're putting in carrots, of course, because carrots are, well, we can do them all year here, but they like the cold. And we get them in, we're one of the cooler zones in Australia. We can grow carrots all year. However, we can't get them to germinate after sort of end of May. That's it, window's finished. So we've got to get ours sort of growing, germinated, and at least half size by then. They do grow quite fast. So it then means by the time we've got through our winter, we'll have carrots all winter, and then because we haven't been able to germinate them in the cold, we can't start germinating again until the warmth of the soil starts to warm up again. So we do have a window, surprisingly, where we don't have any carrots to pick in spring. So once we get grow tunnels and stuff up, we will. But that's just something to bear in mind, to plant extra so you can store them. So you've got that little window. You will figure this out as you go. Gardening's a journey. You'll learn things as you go. So don't panic. Just do what you can for now. Beetroot. We don't eat too much of it, but I just like to have it in there. You can eat the greens. You can grate it. I actually really like it raw. You can saute it raw, and then saute it in butter. And then of course you can boil it and then pickle it and preserve it. Bunching onions, so spring onions, which we eat lots of. And then there are some lettuce, not lettuce greens, some greens. So lettuce will grow. I have so much trouble growing lettuce though. There is a cool variety of green called corn salad, Dutch corn salad. Mizuna is a really good one to grow over winter. And then you've got your spinaches, kale, silver beet, things like that. And they're really good to grow in amongst other things. So anything that sort of is quick growing. Baby spinach is another one. Baby spinach is just spinach that you pick when it's little. So I will go through and show you what I've got already in after we've gone through how to plant it out. And I'll just show you what the plants are going to look like as they progress. And I'll show you my cabbages, and then we'll plant some of these greens around the cabbages, because before the cabbages get big, it covers the ground. There's something else in the ground to grow and eat while you wait for the cabbage to get big. So let's get into some planting. And I am the laziest seed sower. So this is going to be real quick and easy. I've just remembered something. Before you start sowing your seeds, an easy system to get into is to write all the plant labels first. So choose out the seeds you're planting for the day, write out the plant labels, so then you can just get straight into it and be planting, adding in the plant labels, which I've forgotten to do. I'm going to run back to the house and go and get my labels, and I'll show you. Hello. Hey, goats. Hi, babies. Oh, he thinks I've got food, but I don't. Sorry. I've got them. What I use to make my labels are these. These are old. They've just been in the shed. I just keep reusing them. But what they are is the Venetian blinds. So these are from Spotlight. Actually, I think these ones were from Bunnings, and they were reduced. Like the whole packet, the big Venetian blind was like $5 on clearance, and I just cut it into pieces. And they make really good garden labels, because they're big, so you can see them, you can find them, you can see where they are, and they just last for years. So one day I'll have really nice wooden ones that I can reuse that are ready to go, but for now, this is what I use. That's pretty easy. So I am going to just lay my seeds out, write my labels out, and then we'll get into planting. Try not to get tempted to skip that step. I know it's really tempting to just plow ahead and get your seeds put in the ground without labels. I've been doing this for years, like decades. You'll forget where you've planted things unless you've got a map laid out or you've done something so that you can remember. And the other problem that you might have is as the little seedlings come up, weeds are going to come up as well. And you kind of need to know what's what, so then you can distinguish between which one's the plant and which one's the weeds, so that you can weed it out properly. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come along and I'll put everything back in my little caddy, and I'll just start working my way along this garden bed, planting things out. You can put stuff wherever you want. So if you've got a big square bed, just section it off and put things. I mean, there's also an idea of, it's called chaos gardening. You just spread the seeds out anywhere. Most of the seeds are planted at the same depth. Most seed packets will have a seed depth on that. So you just need to look that up and roughly get it right. But let's get into it. I'll show you how to plant out some seeds. I'm actually going to start with one of the Leeks. Then I'll go Swedes. Then I might go the other leek, and then carrots, then bunching onions and beetroot. The reason I'm doing that is because it's going to be a tall, leggy looking thing and then a shorter thing. So I'm not going to have the leeks right next to my spring onions, for example, because they look very similar as they're growing. So if anything happens to the labels, I know what's what. You can do whatever you want in your garden. That's just what I do. I try to separate them a little bit so I can keep an eye on things. And then I'm just going to lay them out roughly along the way. I'm going to have a tool for this next part. I use whatever I can find. I've got a bit of bark. Sometimes I use a stick. If you see weeds, just clean your bed up a little bit, flatten it out. Okay, you can have a look at your packet. So 5mm depth. I don't worry too much about spacing with stuff like this, but they need to be these need to be about 12 centimeters apart. So label goes in, and I face my label to the south. So in Australia, the south is where the shade is, and it's so that it doesn't wear away the label quicker. All right, so little trick. I empty out the seeds into my hand over the space where I'm sowing. So if they drop, it's dropping where I want them. And then I just make little furrows. And then I sprinkle. So I'm not worrying too much about neat and tidy spacing. I haven't worried too much about exact depth. I'm just getting them in. And then there's a couple for that last little bit there. And then just smooth them over. Like cover them over. Pat down. And that's done. And then when you get to the end, so my last row was here, you want to put your label in for the next section so you know where you finished. And we move on. Next section, Swedes. Same thing. These go in a bit deeper, they're 10mm, so a centimetre deep. So clear your patch up, make it flat on top. Pull out any little weeds you see. This is a new bed, so I'm going to be constantly weeding this all winter. It'll actually take a couple of years to get on top of the weeds. All right, we can make our, so I want to go a bit deeper this time. Okay, let's see how that goes. Same deal, open your packet over where you're sowing in case they fly out. And we sprinkle. I will now go along with all of these seeds, same system over and over and over, check the depth, check the spacing, and just get your seeds in. So if you're at that point where you think it might be a bit late to get the seeds going, just go and get some seedlings. I'm probably going to go and get some seedlings as well, just to make sure we've got plenty of food, but we'll also have these seeds in. And seeds will grow when they want to grow. So they'll wait till the temperature's how they want it, the conditions are right, moisture's right, and then they'll germinate and grow. Now I'm doing American leeks. I don't know what's American about them, but that's what they're called. If you know, let me know. Beets are quite deep. We want 15 centimetres for this. So I'm really pushing my stick in fairly deep for this. Because you've got to take into account as well, when you push the soil down, that's compacting it and it's lowering the depth of whatever lowering the depth of the soil on top of whatever you've planted. Okay. Oh, the other thing about beets is we're about to get rain, so these are going to stay moist. I almost always soak beets, the seeds. I'll show you. I almost always soak these in water overnight before I plant. But considering we're about to have rain, I am trialing just popping them in and seeing if the moisture of the rain is enough to get these going. And if it works, it means that through winter I don't have to soak. And it's one step that I save, because anything that makes the process a bit quicker is good in my books. I love spring onions. They are a really, really pretty structural plant in the garden as well. They just look so pretty. And the colour of this variety is really beautiful. I don't know how to say it. Wait, where is it? Natsuyo. It is a beautiful greeny blue. Very pretty. This is 5mm, so we don't need to, I'm going a bit deep here. Empty them out over where you're planting and sprinkle away. Next one's carrots. Carrots can be a little bit tricky to germinate. I had success with it for years and then all of a sudden had problems, you can do lots of little tricks. You can plant them out and then put some cardboard over the top until it germinates. It just helps keep the soil moist. But like I said, we're about to have some rain, so I probably don't need to do that. These are 5 millimeters as well. It's not very deep. Carrots are not planted very deep, but in saying that, they want complete darkness to germinate. So that's another plus for putting something over the top. And as you can see, they're very small little seeds. So they don't want to be covered by much soil, but they also don't want sunlight. So they can be a little bit tricky, but don't let it scare you off. Just try some, get used to it. The more you do it, the better you get. So that was pretty quick and easy, don't you think? So the rest of my row here, I've got onions to go in. I did buy some, but I've also raised some from seedlings. I'll show you. Reason being, I don't quite know what the variety was that I bought in the little punnets. Didn't have a variety on it. And so there's warm season onions and cool season onions. I can't be sure that what I bought, whether it was cool or warm. But I have also got some that I know are cool season, and I'm just waiting for them to get a bit bigger so I can put them in. I've got some lettuce greens now. We're going to plant them around my mini cabbages, which I'll show you. Mini cabbages and Brussels sprouts live under this net because they're very susceptible to a white moth, and they're very susceptible to slugs and everything. Everything wants to eat them. So I pop them under here to keep them safe. And I don't mulch them, which would be great if I could, because the rest of these veggies, once they've popped up, I'll start mulching. But I don't mulch these because it just creates spaces for slugs and snails to hide, which we don't want. So I'll do a quick little weed out, and we're going to pop some salad greens in around the edges, particularly because in here I don't use mulch. It is a good idea to grow something on top. There's a lot of grass coming up. I'm going to go grab my little thingy. These pathways are going to have mulch, so I won't have to worry about that soon, but all I want to do is go in and rough up that soil just to stop all those weeds that are popping up from taking off. Otherwise, we're going to have a very big job to clean this up later. And I've got, so one of those plants has died in there. I need to put a replacement in. I'm feeling really hot. So I've finished planting out over there, but what I want to do now is get some snow peas in, but it's actually a lot of work for me to prep the spot. So I'm going to show you where I'm going to put them. I've got this trellis here. It's just some really long poles with a cattle panel or Rio on it and a little garden bed along there. So currently I've got beans on it, but they've been eaten by bugs. So I'm going to pull all of that off, clean up the bottom, which is radishes that gone to seed, and I've collected most of the ones up the end. Clean that out and I will run the snow peas all along there. I won't do that on camera today. I feel like you've got the drift of how to go about this, and the main message is just get started on it. Go and prepare yourself a bed, amend the soil if you need to, like add in some manures. It's probably better just to buy compost at this point, ready to go compost, because the manure needs to break down, and if you wanted to get planting, you can't plant straight into fresh manure. Get your seeds in, water it, look after it, keep it all moist until it germinates, and then just water it once a day. Once the winter kicks in, the moisture, you might only need to water once every 2 or 3 days. So happy gardening. I want to hear in the comments, have you started your garden? Do you already have one? Are you going to start it? Did you feel inspired? Let me know. What I'm going to do now is water in those seeds, water the rest of the garden, and there's a little bit more food for us for the winter. Let me know if there's a particular topic you want me to cover. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.